he's a great actor in this. And, you know, they say when you act really good, it's when you act less. And, yeah, Max could be a distraction.
Did you hear you farted? Did you hear that fart? It was so loud.
Wet.
I don't know what the you're talking about, dude. I gotta go wipe my ass.
Revival House Network.
Howdy, everybody. Welcome to another Cinema Enema. Feels like we've waited a little longer than normal to do a Cinema Enema, but for good reason. We wanted to time it so we could do the movie that we're doing today, which, spoiler alert, is Scream 5, Scream, whatever, Scream, they're just calling it. But per the last few episodes, we haven't been talking about news because news has been fucking dried up. So we're just going to talk about what we've been watching, catch up a little bit before we get into the meat of the topic, which is 2022's Scream 5 or whatever you want to call it. So, Zach, what's up?
Dude, this is like the intro to the fucking the wrestling match. We gotta fucking hype the crowd, bro. That's what I was feeling like. Mac, remember back in the day whenever we play all the wrestling games and then you got to create a character, you got to create the way they came out. You got to pick the music.
And then you had to use the fucking you couldn't make your own music. You had to fucking choose one of the fucking characters. They didn't just have preset songs.
We used to sit there all autistic, fucking seriously, fucking for hours.
Oh,
like,
let's make fucking ICP all the time. I think it was
find the right combination of the walkout.
I think every time I could create a character, it was ICP. It was always ICP.
Yeah, with Attitude, they started making it so that you could put ICP makeup on them. So Vogue.
And then they finally made them in the game.
Exactly.
All right. So anyway, on to relevant shit. Zach, let's start with you. What have you been watching lately?
Fucking, you start because I had to bring up a list, baby. I did start watching fucking Dexter, the fucking New Blood, baby. Fucking, this is the one where he comes back from the dead. His daughter accidentally brings him back, and he fucking, she accidentally killed her dad and shit. See, I'm making a reference to Friday the 13th New Blood. But like, fucking, I don't think anybody got it, but I'm enjoying it so far. I'm 3 episodes in. Mac was saying he's not enjoying it. I don't understand. What is happening, Mac?
We talked about it. That part just turned me off, and just I don't know
the CGI deer. That was it.
Yeah, I don't know. It just fucked me, and I just don't like the way they were going with it.
I'm liking it, baby. Fucking, I'm having a good time.
It's okay. I'm just not a fan of how they went with it. I don't know.
Rock on. Well, CGI deer doesn't
like if it was up to me. Like, hold on, if I was gay, it would be Michael C. Hall, and then Jack Black.
Michael C. Hall is very Chad. Fucking Michael C. Hall. I got an audiobook of him reading fucking Pet Cemetery. I come listening to that. I just.
You know what's funny is he actually has he has his own band too, and fucking. Do you know what their name is? Have you heard what their name is?
What is it, Mac?
Fuck. It's hold on.
You got to have the punchline ready if you're gonna.
We're hijacking the show.
Yeah, I know. Hold on. I failed hard.
I just remembered I grabbed my phone because I was going to start looking up a list of movies I watched. I forgot about it.
Oh, it's Princess Goes to the Butterfly Museum. That's his band's name.
Amazing.
You should download it. It's fucking good. It's so good.
You go ahead and start it out, baby. Ain't right.
Well, I imagine Mac's gonna. Is there anything in particular that you've watched of note that you can remember? Yeah.
I've been off for COVID, so I just sat and I rewatched Spider-Man so I could watch the new one. I'm going back to watch all of them. So
you didn't watch the new one yet?
I haven't seen the new one yet.
Oh, okay.
You know what? It was a missed opportunity.
And I went back and did Death Wish again. Fucking, I can't. I gotta watch those.
You gotta watch those. We can talk about Chucky. We probably all saw it,
right?
Fucking by now. Or did we talk about?
Oh yeah, we never talked about it. Well,
we never did.
Well, then that sounds like an episode all to itself. So I mean, maybe we should just keep it short. But I was kind of in the middle with it. I'd say the first 3 quarters, it was fine. I was enjoying it enough. I was in the middle. But then the last 2 episodes, I enjoyed. I thought they were funny. I love it when he's like the the drill sergeant to all the other Chuckies, right? And he's talking to them.
It's so goofy how
and they're raising their hand.
Some of them have that bad voice, the raspy voice. Oh, it's so stupid.
It reminds me of Multiplicity, right? Where there's all the Michael Keatons and they all have the different mannerisms and voices and shit.
Oh god.
And they're like raising a hand, like, what about kids? You know, like it's like good question.
Mean 7 through 11 or something.
The best thing the show ever did was it woke me. I got woken and brought to the spiritual form, and I discovered the mighty Timbala, and I have pledged my life to the mighty Timbala. You don't know shit about Timbala.
All I know is I'll do a day.
We find out that the day at 2A Timbala, like fucking, that's like referring to the deity Timbala.
Yeah, because it's just, and I think they literally just made that up now. Like, you know what? Let's call that, because we just thought it was gibberish. It was part of the chant.
It's cute. I like it.
Nah, they actually probably knew the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
They're that chat.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. But
I literally melted in my fucking shorts when I heard that.
I mean, that doesn't make anything though, because it's voodoo. It's weird. I wouldn't see them doing that with the deity.
I like
deity.
I guess you could compare it to Ash vs. Evil Dead, but I think Ash vs. Evil Dead is the better show. But to be fair, Ash vs. Evil Dead got great in season 2, so Chucky obviously has room to grow. So.
My boy Chucky, I'd die for
I
him.
feel like they're gonna ruin it, and they're gonna bring Glenn into it, and it's just gonna fucking
They're gonna throw the kitchen sink in. Everybody's gonna come back.
It's gonna get fucking stupid.
It's gonna get amazing.
Dude, they're gonna have Tyler.
Amazing.
They gotta have Tyler come into it, and he's gonna be doing that with your lollipop. He's gonna be sucking dick because everybody in the shows tends to like that, I guess. I don't know.
Fucking dick is good. Dick tastes good.
I didn't even know you guys were watching
You
me.
ever had a dick in your mouth?
You ever suck dick for coke? Rest in peace.
Oh, rest in peace, Bob Saget, man. Which we haven't recorded since he passed away. He was really unexpected. I mean, because he was literally.
Oh yeah, did you see that? The release, like the autopsy, how it was like, oh yeah, well, we don't know yet. We'll let you know.
No, well, the official. They just said that there was
we don't know yet.
No, well, it takes time. It takes like a month. But they said
just
there was no.
That.
They just said there's no evidence of foul play or drugs or anything like that. But then which is good. That's all everybody wants to know initially, like the outlets and the news and the press and shit. But he was really out of nowhere because his was unexpected. Like nobody even knew. He didn't even know he was sick. He probably just had like a stroke.
I'm calling shenanigans. They're not telling us. Fucking the coroner. He's leaving it hush hush already. I think this is another Epstein thing. I think it's the same motherfucker who got Epstein. I think it's all.
He was literally. This was the first day of his tour, and he was in the hotel. And I think. Gosh, I don't know if he had done one show because a lot of those comedians, they'll do 2 sets in a day. But yeah, he was literally in the hotel in Florida, Tampa maybe.
I don't know why I'm memeing because like we did talk about this since we recorded, and I mentioned that like fucking it's probably scummy, but like fucking I went ahead and I thought if I had to guess, it was a suicide. I said that. Fucking,
but it's not. But it's not. The guy was super happy. He was super happy.
That's what I said. You said that, and I was like, "Fucking, Aaron, you don't know fucking shit."
I believe they include suicide in foul play when they say no foul play, right? I think he just had like a heart attack or a sudden stroke or something. And I've said it before, I think on some show, but I'm glad I got to meet him. When I worked at a comedy club, he was there at one point, and I got to be his server in the green room, which is cool because they would assign like somebody to wait on the actual talent that was there and just kind of tend to him in the green room. And the green room's cool because, they have a TV up there and they're watching a stream of the opener and they're just kind of like getting prepped and pumping themselves up. And he was super, super friendly. He was open to chat and talk. He wasn't an asshole. And he gave me like fucking over the course of the evening, he gave me like $100. Like every time he asked me for anything, here's 20, he handed me $20. And he was always little shit. Like, can I get a half a glass of milk? Yeah, sure. Sure, Bob Saget. And I'd bring it back to him. He'd give me 20, right?
Bob, I'm going to have to bring you back an entire fucking jug of milk.
This is my semen, Bob.
I just melted in my fucking shorts, Bob, fucking talking to you.
But it makes me think though, like I'm never really one for pictures and shit like that just because I don't know. I never think about that shit at the time. But I should have got a picture with him. And it's all hindsight's always 20/20 when people die and stuff. And people I worked with, they would always do that at the end of the night or before the weekend was over and whoever was going to leave, they would always kind of like after hours and shit, like get a picture and bum rush them. And they were always cool, whoever's in the Connie Club. But I'm like, I never wanted to do that. I'm not going to fucking take a picture with them or anybody else. But anyway,
R.I.P.
R.I.P. That's the second comedian that I got to see there that passed away since, because I saw Ralphie May when I was working there too, and he was real nice, and he passed away shortly after that too. I worked at a comedy club that was owned by Gabriel Iglesias, Fluffy, you know that guy?
Fucking Enrique's brother.
Yeah, Enrique's fat brother, and he was nice. And I remember one night he was in town. I don't know why he was in town, maybe just checking on the place. And I wasn't working that weekend, and he took everybody. He took the whole club who worked there out to see The Force Awakens. And believe me, the movie shit. I don't give a shit to see that, but I'm like, that's pretty cool, man. To hang out Fluffy and sit and watch Star Wars with him. But anyway, rest in peace, Bob Saget. He was a nice guy. I didn't like his comedy. I'm not gonna lie and say I did. His comedy was not funny at all, but he was super fucking nice, and I liked the stuff that he was a part of. You know, Full House and all the other shit he did. So, but anyway, I'll literally skim through the shit I've watched because there's a few things of note. You know, just real fast. Shotgun. I watched that Netflix movie Unforgivable. Sandra Bullock. It is a 6 out of 10. It's kind of whatever. I watched Shang-Chi. That Marvel movie. It's a turd. I gave it a 5 out of 10. That was kind of being nice. House by the Cemetery. I rewatched that. I haven't seen that in years, and it's a 5 out of 10. It's got a creepy atmosphere. It's good. Like, it's got a great villain and a creepy atmosphere, but the general consensus is that it makes no sense at all, and I kind of stay there with that. But but that was a rewatch. 2 Days in the Valley. I jumped on that. I saw Goat and Zach had done a podcast on that, and I checked it out, and it was underrated. It was good. It was really good. Basically, everybody pegs it as being a Pulp Fiction clone, which it kind of is in the sense that you can tell it came in the wake of Pulp Fiction, and filmmakers were all trying to get a piece of that kind of pie. And I could see that, but it was its own story, and it wasn't as confusing and spliced together. It wasn't quite the way Pulp Fiction does it. So, what else did I watch? I watched.
I'm pretty sure we talked about this on the last episode.
I don't think so because when's the last time we did a Cinema Enema? I logged this 4 weeks ago. We haven't done Cinema Enema in a while.
Fuck, I don't know.
I think you're baked.
I know we've talked about that.
You look fucking baked. I don't know. Well, if I did, I did. I guess I'll just jump to.
Stop saying I look high. It makes me all self-conscious.
What?
You look fucking high, man. All right, well, I'll just get to the nitty gritty. I watched Local Hero. It's a movie I've always wanted to watch just because I love the soundtrack. I'm a huge Mark Knopfler fan, and that's one of his biggest solo albums because he did the entire soundtrack. And so I've known the music my whole life, and I've never actually watched the flick. And it was okay. I gave it a 6 out of 10, but I think it might be one I might appreciate the more I watch it, or the more I sit on it. I watched what else? Fuck, I watched Saint Maud. And I know Zach had loved that movie, and it was a 6 out of 10 for me, which is good. But it wasn't great.
You'll fucking get Keno pilled one day, and you'll realize it was Big Chad. Big Chad.
You're such an A24 bitch, which is funny because we're gonna kind of talk about that shit when we get into Scream too. They're talking about all the elevated horror and the fad of today and stuff like that. My thing is I like. I'm not going to be this hipster that says, oh, fuck A24, because everybody either sniffs the farts of A24 and that's just like the best thing ever, or there's people that want to be cool and it's cool to hate it now. The thing is I like a lot of movies from the 70s that would today be considered A24, right? You take a movie like The Changeling, that's totally an A24 movie, right? You know what I mean? It's that kind of thing. So I'm not going to be that guy. I like a lot of what they do, but I'm 50-50. I'm kind of getting a little tired of it. I feel like we're getting an oversaturation of those types of flicks, but I don't want to bitch because it's kind of good that we are, because it's middle of the road budget, getting a lot of exposure. So I'm not going to complain about it. It's definitely better than what we had going on in the 90s.
What do you think of Atomic Monster?
I didn't see that one.
You don't know what Atomic Monster is, or Productions? What do you think of that?
No, I don't know what it is.
Fuck, I heard of that. Did you just make that up? You're looking like fucking Angela.
No, he's talking about A24. I was asking him about what he thinks of Atomic Monster. That's really one. With the fucking guy that's in the spaceship thing and he fucking flies.
Did they make
What?
the movie that plays in your head after you get high? I don't know.
I guess.
Mag looks like fucking Angela from like the fucking cover of like Night of the Demons 3 with the fucking eyeballs.
Fuck you,
Fucking
man.
Oh,
Atomic
dude,
Monster, man.
I watched Deep Cover with Lawrence Fishburne and fucking Jeff Goldblum. That was a good movie, man. I really enjoyed that. That is a gem, a treasure that nobody talks about. And I think it had an Arrow release, if I'm incorrect. Was it Criterion or Arrow? Somebody put it out relatively recently. But it is really good. And it's basically a undercover movie. Like we've seen a bunch of movies like that. Cop goes undercover. He's trying to bust a drug ring. He gets in with them. But this one was different. And it's a little hammy, but it works for the movie. Like Jeff Goldblum, everything he says in that movie is fucking just gold. So I recommend that. It's Goldblum. After years and years and years of just reading about how shitty it was and actually afraid to pull the trigger and watch it, I finally watched Amityville 3D. I watched it. And I've just always avoided
fucking shitty movie.
It was a 4 out of 10.
I almost watched that last night. I almost watched that.
It's a 4 out of 10. And honestly, it was shitty, but I really was going into it expecting really shitty. So, but it was not good at all, and the lack of violence did not help it. The story was stupid. The characters were fucking stupid.
Fucking Aunt Becky's in there. Aunt Becky.
Yeah, she is.
What a fucking weird casting.
Meg Ryan, but it's not good. And a movie that we're gonna do on Mac and Zach here shortly as well, Stealing Harvard. I watched that for the first time. And I heard Zach talking about it all the time. I remember when it was in theaters, and I watched it. And literally, I don't know why this thing was greenlit, because its premise does not justify a whole fucking movie at all.
Isn't it great that we live in a world where it was greenlit though, and it exists?
Because I mean, just the idea alone, it's so unfathomable. Like nowhere in the last 15 years, this kid's life was it ever brought up that she was actually doing good in school and she was actually having a shot at Harvard, and nobody at once said, "Hey, I'm getting closer to Harvard. I'm doing this correct. Remember that deal you made for me, and you said you would do it." Like, was he really that just? Oh, what are you talking about? That promise I made. If he's that close to her, it would have come up.
No real fucking girl would have even probably.
And she wouldn't have remembered. Also, and let's just pretend I'm assuming he's the kind of uncle that has dinner there every weekend because he's really close to the daughter, supposedly. I would imagine that even if it never came up and he never once said, "Hey, how's school going? Fuck me." Even if it really did just get presented to him out of nowhere 15 years later or whatever, any real person would have said, "Oh God, I said that? Look, it's a different, nah, I can't. I'm sorry, I got to Welch on this one.
I can't do it." That's like off. I think you should leave. He's like, "I'm not going to do it."
Especially if you had something like the marriage thing he has going for him too, like conflicting. He's not going to take the money they have for a new house, his bride. Dude, nobody would fucking do that. You would just have to take the hit on that one.
You're wrong. Fucking our boy.
And then nobody would commit felony crimes, especially to
fucking our boy. What's his name again? Brandon Lee. He did it.
No, Jason Lee, dude.
Jason
Brandon
Lee.
He fucking
Why was I so bad at the fucking name?
On Jason Lee, I have to say, so the premise is absolutely dumb, and almost everybody in the movie is absolutely stupid. I don't think Jason Lee's funny in the movie. I don't think Dennis Farina's funny in the movie. I don't think Richard Jenkins, the guy making people wear, I don't think he's funny. I think it all misses the ball. But surprise, surprise, the savior of the movie is fucking Tom Green, because everything he said, every time he comes on screen, nothing he says makes sense. And believe me, he doesn't elevate the plot either, but he says such buffoonery that I laughed. Every time he's on screen, I was laughing. I'm like, it's hard to completely hate this because I'm laughing consistently.
He's got a big bushy beard.
It's absolutely, I can't stay mad at you.
You never see him with a beard because he always had the goatee, and it's like fucking.
It's just asinine. Like that's a two-way mirror. Ooh,
it's amazing.
Everything about it's asinine. But like I said, you could pluck him out.
Acetin. If that was an ass, it'd be a big juicy ass.
But he's not even doing anything special. He's just being himself, because you could pluck him out of that movie and put him in any other movie and it would be the same effect because he's not really bringing anything towards the plot. But anyway, we'll talk more about that on Mac and Zach. I watched Tender Bar. It's that Amazon Prime movie directed by George Clooney, and it's kind of like a Wonder Years type fucking thing with Ben Affleck. It was a 6 out of 10. I watched this movie Burnt with Bradley Cooper about a chef. It was a 6 out of 10. I finally watched Night of the Comet. I've never seen it. I watched it.
Oh, dude,
it was a set.
That's hilarious because I watched that like 3 weeks ago. Or no, Night of the Comet, not that one, the other one.
Night of the Creeps. I've seen that.
No, not that. Attack from Mars or something. Is that what it is?
Mars Attacks?
No.
It's nothing like the title at all.
I know. It was like Aliens type.
You chimed in and he wasn't even
Shut the fuck up, Zach. Night of the Comet, I watched that, but like a year ago. Night of the Comet.
Anyway, I've owned Night of the Comet for a while. I had the Scream version of it, and I watched it. And I'm like, why have I been sitting on this? And it's a 7 out of 10. I thought it was a good time. That was a good time.
I never liked it.
It's a good time. I think it's PG-13. It's not violent or anything else, but it does it for me. It's so over the top 80s, and it's got that fucking Stacy from Fast Times, that cheerleader, right? She's the younger sister, the blonde. She's the cheerleader in Fast Times.
Maroney.
She gets fed up. Yeah. So I recognize her. I liked it. It was cool. I could see that being a movie that had I grown up with it, or if I watched it 10, 20 years ago, I would probably like it even more, and it would probably just be so ingrained and very nostalgic for me because I felt like that. I felt like it's a movie I've been watching my whole life. I rewatched Animal Factory because I had acquired the Arrow DVD of that, or Blu-ray of that, and it's been a while since I've seen that. And yeah, it's a 7 out of 10. It holds up. It's a what?
I love sitting here watching Mackie. You know, he's like fucking. He's trying to get some pussy in his DM. He's in someone's DMs trying to get some pussy.
What?
You're trying to look at your phone.
No, I'm looking at actually I got Mars Attack pulled up.
I said Mars Attacks.
It's like, not. No, I'm looking for the actual movie. I was like, what movie is it?
I had to say the thing that would make him feel the most uncomfortable.
That was so random. No, I'm sitting here like looking like, huh, and then he calls me out for it. Motherfucker calls me out.
Anyway, to put a nail in it, the last movie on my list. The last movie on my list is the greatest movie that I've seen in the last month or two. I watched Nicolas Cage's Pig, and it was fan-fucking-tastic.
I started that.
It's so...
It looked decent.
Oh, I loved it.
Nicolas Cage's Pig. He directed the pig. I didn't know that.
He's got the greatest line in any movie ever. I don't fuck my pig. I don't fuck my pig.
Is that what it gives it the 10 out of 10?
No, I gave it an 8 out of 10. You have to earn a 10 out of 10 over time, but it was really good. It's just... It's got everything. It's got the title because the title is provocative. It's like, what, pig? And it's the
Are you saying that it might be a 10 out of 10 10 years from now?
I don't know. It'll grow with me too. But I'm saying like the fact that it's called Pig and the premise is a fucking disheveled looking Nicolas Cage looking. It's actually the anti John Wick. It's like the. It really is. It's like John Wick backwards. It's not like John Wick because he's very much a pacifist. But whereas John Wick, but it's different. On paper, it's like what a movie's called Pig. It's about a homeless Nicolas Cage who gets looking for a pig. What the fuck is this? It definitely grabs you with the premise and the title, but it's got so much more than what's on the surface. And actually, when you dig into it, it's like, this isn't what I thought it was at all. And I have to say, Nicolas Cage, for a guy that's known for just chewing the scenery, like super over the top and wacky, which is fun, he dials it back. He's a great actor in this. And, they say when you act really good, it's when you act less. And, Max fucking being a distraction.
Did you hear you farted? Did you hear that fart? It was so loud.
Wet.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, dude. I gotta go wipe my ass.
No way. Really?
No, dude. What?
Oh, yeah.
What?
Oh man, so I'm just trying to talk about the brilliance of Pig. It's streaming on Hulu right now. It's really good.
I was just telling you my side of what I thought about it.
Dude, King Coon come over here. But Nicolas Cage is fucking fantastic. And you know what's funny is I don't give a shit about this type of stuff, but I know what it does for actors and their careers. Nicolas Cage his name is being thrown in the mix. It's a dark horse for the Oscars. And if in 2022, after the 10 years Nicolas Cage has had in like just career prison, if he gets nominated for an Oscar and even wins a fucking Oscar for this movie, we'll have the official. He's kind of been on a resurgence the last couple of years, right? With a couple of these indie projects, but it will be the ultimate return of Nick Cage.
Have you watched that samurai one he's in?
I haven't.
I want to watch it. I started it, and then he was all in chains, and he's like naked. You know what I'm talking about?
Did you notice me and Max are laughing like we were like in fucking 5th grade and it was reading class?
Yeah, pretty much. No, but yeah, Nicolas Cage. There's a movie before The Pig that he did. You know what I'm talking about? The Island one?
Yeah.
He did a couple.
He comes out with 1 million movies a year now. But and he's got that one where
good for him. Good for you, man. Good for you.
He's got that one too that's coming out where he's like it's all self-aware where he plays Nick Cage. That one, but I'm telling you,
needs to be Johnny Cage. Like once they do that, mind blown.
Dude, he's kind of fat and out of shape to be Johnny Cage. But anyway, watch Pig. It's fucking fantastic. And I'll say to finish it off, it's one of those simple stories that has a lot of subtext and a lot of deeper meaning. And dude, he actually made me weep a little bit. His performance was really fucking good.
Pussy.
Dude, there was a moment where I'm like,
you're like, what?
It's a cinema enema contender. In fact, I think it should be a cinema enema.
It probably doesn't stand up against Willy Wonderland, though.
See, I'm the ultimate.
It was a shit, not a good movie.
It was.
I'm the ultimate fucking beta king. Fucking, I cried on the fucking podcast that one time on the episode of
Deep
the
End.
show.
But let me tell you though, so this is how much I like Pig,
Pussy.
and I'm not Pig. I think Pig, save for maybe Face Off, but they're totally different movies, is the greatest Nicolas Cage movie he's ever done, in my opinion. It's
What
that
movie?
good. Pig. It's fucking
You think that's
good.
the greatest movie?
The
You think that's the
Nicolas
greatest
Cage,
movie of all time?
The greatest Nicolas Cage movie.
I'm gonna say Kick-Ass is probably his best.
All right, I like Kick Ass.
I did too.
Anyway, so that's all. Did you actually have a list you want to talk about, Zach?
The movie I was talking about was Prisoner of Ghostland with him in it. That's the one I'm talking. I want to see.
Oh yeah, that
Looks pretty good.
Willy's Wonderland. That looks like one of his paycheck jobs. Like he just kind of showed up for a weekend.
Bill Moseley's in it.
Played on a pinball machine. All right, Zach, go ahead.
Fucking, I don't got anything to say. Oh yeah, I watched The Matrix, but I already talked about it. Fucking, I enjoyed it.
I started that, but I fell asleep towards the end. So I gotta rewatch it.
It's literally just like the movie we're watching tonight.
Pretty much.
Fucking, like, oh, we're gonna do the first movie. We're gonna mention that we're doing the first movie. We're gonna point out the ironic idea of this, and it's meta and shit. Fucking, it's the same thing.
So
Amazing.
well then we'll just take our normal break and we'll come back and we'll talk about Scream since we're on that note. Which that might be the only thing that you could say that might be a point of it that hurts it. It's because you have movies that have been doing it lately. It's been real hip to do a Matrix and all this weird. But that's kind of the point of the movie, I guess. I don't know. But we'll take a quick break and we'll be back. We're going to talk about Scream.
This isn't funny, Amber.
Would you like to play a game, Tara?
Doors unlocked. All doors locked. Doors unlocked.
Hello?
It's happening. 3 attacks so far. Do you have a gun?
I'm Sidney Prescott. Of course I have a gun.
Something about this one just feels different.
Samantha? I know who you are. I've been through this a lot. This is your life now, which means that whoever this is going to keep coming for you. You ready for this? Never.
There's certain rules to surviving.
The attacks were all on people related to the original killers.
Whatever his link is to our past, it's pulled us all back here. And I won't sleep until he's in the ground.
Hello, Sidney. It's an honor.
Welcome back, everybody. Okay, so we're back. We're going to talk about Scream 2022. We just got done watching it. I watched it last night as of this recording. Zach might have watched it. When did you watch it, Zach?
I watched it last night, baby.
Last night. I watched it yesterday afternoon, a matinee show, Saving That Money, and Mac just got back literally like an hour or two ago. So,
It was done at 7:30.
Are we gonna do it the traditional way, Zach? Are you gonna kind of recap the story or what?
Fucking this movie, if you saw the original Scream, we mentioned it earlier. It's basically they're kind of recreating that again, and they're meta about it. They're bringing up the fact that like, oh, now whenever you bring back an old franchise, you got to do what do they call it? The requel.
A requel. It's not quite a sequel. It's like a soft reboot. You have to incorporate the legacy actors a little bit. Yeah, a requel.
They described everything that it's doing. It's fucking fucking. Well, let's go through it, baby. Fucking, we got new characters now. I was surprised. I was like fucking. I was waiting like, okay, it's gonna start out with Sidney and everything. Like fucking, they take a back seat quite a bit, and it feels a lot like how I assume you guys feel about like fucking
Ghostbusters and Force Awakens.
Yeah.
And they made that point of saying that Ghostbusters, Force Awakens, Star Wars, they did exactly that shit. But I'll tell you really quick before you get much further into it, the legacy characters play a much bigger role than the Ghostbusters do in that new Ghostbusters
Right.
movie. I think I was pleasantly surprised with how much the legacy characters were in it. I thought it was fair. I thought it was totally fine. It was balanced, and especially Dewey, like he was woven in there pretty well. I'm like, yeah, the Ghostbusters is a shit show, by the way. So
I guess
not the same.
Because I went into this not seeing, I didn't watch any of the trailers, didn't read anything about it. I was just ready. I was kind of surprised by that.
Well, they used them a lot in the marketing materials, of course, to sell the movie. So maybe if you went in thinking, oh, they're in every second of the movie.
But like, yeah, we got mostly new characters. We got fucking, basically we find out the daughter of Billy Loomis. Fucking and they brought back Skeet Ulrich.
What do you guys think about this? My girlfriend thought that was so stupid they should have dropped it. I liked it. It was silly, but I'm like, you know what? I'm going with it. I like the fact that it was fan service.
It didn't bother me.
It didn't bother me. I thought it was kind of cool. I'm like, I don't know how she knew.
And the fact that it was actually him was even better. So
yeah, and honestly, I couldn't tell if it was CGI de-aging or makeup because Skeet Ulrich still looks good for his age, but he's older, but he looks good.
I think it was makeup.
Yeah, it kind of looked like makeup because he just needed to shave and make sure he had no like weathering, but he still looks good. I could see where they could have just made him up.
Fucking Skeet Ulrich, he's a big Chad. Would you guys fuck Skeet? Would you fuck him?
I mean, his face kind of is skinnier. I don't know.
How did they
skinnies?
Well, hold on. How was she envisioning him with how he looked when he died when she wasn't even born then? Like
I was gonna say that I would have went kind of more meta with it, and so like because that would have been interesting if she saw him as fucking Owen Wilson.
The only way you could justify it is maybe it was in the papers, like they had pictures of his body, right, when they took it away. But
see, they should have been like, oh, well, her dad was dead, so she don't know him. So she has a vision of fucking Owen Wilson who played her dad, and that's fucking that would have been interesting.
I know we're jumping ahead a little bit, but I have to say, I think the way they made her the daughter, which by the way is very much a, it's like all these movies do. It's got to be the kin of all the legacy people, and they're connecting everybody.
You know what I noticed?
I thought really quick at the end of the movie though, like the way it ended, we'll get there. It was almost like a do your thing, cuz, without them having to say the cheesy dialogue where like Skeet Ulrich is like looking at the knife or whatever and just accept it.
I take it as like fucking that's just her conscience and shit. I don't think it's like fucking he's a ghost.
It's crazy that he's 51 years old too.
Yeah, no. I don't know. I never even thought. I knew it wasn't a ghost. It was just what she was seeing.
I was gonna mention fucking this is like fucking It's kind of funny because in this, because they basically wrote in that fucking Skeet Ulrich, fucking Billy Loomis was cheating on Sidney. Doesn't that kind of make his whole motivation for doing all this really funny? Like, your mother was fucking my father. It's like, you can't do this, but it may fuck whatever. People are hypocritical. Whatever.
They're hypocritical. No, high school. Infidelity is not seen as the same as breaking up a family, married family. Yeah, I get it. But
exactly.
Anyway, I don't know. I wonder if we saw the chick, the mother of the main girl in this, in the first Scream somewhere, like hypothetically, like who was Billy fucking around with? Because it seems in his character, because he was trying to get in Sidney's pants, we're supposed to believe that he was a virgin too? Of course not. He was getting his pinky stinky somewhere else. You know?
We never knew.
That should be a lesson, everybody.
Exactly.
All you girls out there put out, or they're just going to cheat on you.
Fucking, I thought the lesson was never put out. Fucking make them fucking go do that. Like,
anyway, continue with the movie. Sorry.
Big Stacy.
The story.
Fucking, what was I saying? Fucking.
Do you want to take it scene by scene? So it's establishing a new character. It turns out to be Billy Loomis's daughter. She has a half sister.
What'd you guys think of the fucking fucking opening credits sequence? Fucking,
like when he talks to her younger sister.
Yeah, it was.
I thought it was decent.
It was good, and I liked the look. I think it's funny. They were just,
the kill, like the way he was killing her and shit was cool. I like this Ghostface a lot.
Nothing's ever going to top the original opening, the first Scream. It wasn't as good as that.
I think it's the best opening since like the first two.
Yeah,
super gory.
And I liked, I like how they're making it topical of the day. You know, she doesn't know anything about those old ass fucking boomer horror movies. She knows about A24. I can tell you all about the Babadook elevated horror. I thought it was funny because it's exactly, it spoke to me. I'm like, I get, I'm the boomer.
Babadook is good. Babadook is good.
I never liked the Babadook.
Other than the kid, I wanted to fucking punch him.
I was kind of team Ghostface, like that stab fan, because it's like, no. Because I think there's definitely a place for elevated horror. I love Hereditary, for example, but I kind of can't wait till we get back to the Freddy Krueger stuff. Like, it's okay to have a colorful horror slasher character again if they're ever gonna do that again.
I want to get this out of the way real quick.
It doesn't have to be elevated. It doesn't have to have some crazy message. It can just be about a guy with one-liners that kills you in your dreams. Continue.
Fucking, I want to get this out on the open really quick. Did this feel like a fucking Scream movie to you guys? Because it didn't feel like one. It felt like a slasher movie, but it didn't feel like a Scream movie.
Yeah, it didn't have the Wes Craven or the Kevin Williamson touch. But you know what? I was okay with that.
I liked it.
Because you know what? It's supposed to be the requel, a soft reboot, and it kind of fits in. I'm like, well, just since that's their whole mantra and they're making that the whole movie and the self-aware of it being a requel, then it makes sense that it wouldn't feel like Wes Craven and Kevin Williamson.
It feels a lot like Halloween Kills did, where people are like, it doesn't seem like Michael Myers, but it seems like a slasher movie. Like, that's how I feel about this one. It feels like the Ghostface is very, very kind of like
doesn't fucking care.
He's more like fucking stabbing, like fucking persistent. Like, yeah, there's a really gnarly kill in there. Fucking
that scene when he fucking stabs the mom right in the fucking is it the mom?
There's a couple gnarly kills.
He stabs someone in the side of the throat just instantly, and it's just so clean. It's fucking great.
That was the kid from the Goosebumps movie.
Don't Breathe. And he's from Don't Breathe.
Exactly. Fucking looking like Milo Yiannopoulos over here.
Yeah, with that hair. And what's funny is, because they were talking to him like, well, what about my mom? No one gives a fuck about your lineage. She's from a shitty sequel. And yet he's like one of the first people to fucking eat it. You know, and his mom, the deputy of the Part 4, who's now the sheriff that we learned. But which was interesting. It was interesting that they included the Part 4 woman. So
you never think to see like a killing in the daylight too.
There's so much fucking scenes of Ghostface killing people in the daylight in this one.
Yeah. Randy got killed in the second one in the daylight.
Really? I don't remember that.
He got pulled into the news van or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But yeah, like basically the sister of the girl that's in the opening scene, we think that fucking Ghostface, he killed somebody. It always starts out with a kill, but she didn't die. It fucking breaks the mold a little bit there. Fucking she's in the hospital. The fucking her sister is fucking Billy Loomis's daughter. Fucking and all this shit. Fucking and yeah, we're all caught up, baby. Fucking
So,
and then
go ahead. Well, I was gonna say I think they did because it was self-aware. Really ultra self-aware of how the stab movies work. Everybody was acting so paranoid around each other in this movie. It helped. Like, it is paranoid. Everybody was super, even to the point where the sister was paranoid of the sister at one point. I thought that was really cool. And I predicted as my fun guess, like, you know, it's when you watch a new Scream movie, you have to kind of, I'm going to make a prediction who the killer is. The killer's. And,
I figured it out as soon as the movie fucking came on.
It
was obvious.
So here's the thing. My predictions were right, but for the reasons were wrong. And I'll say that over the course of the movie, they had me second guessing a little bit, of course. But my initial guess was right, even though if I was like, well, maybe not, because even Dewey says, right? They even say, Dewey got it right. Like, what the fuck? He told you right from the beginning, goes to me, which is actually kind of funny. I'm like, oh, okay. But I thought it was going to be the boyfriend. But since they established they were doing the Billy Loomis thing and it was a requel and it was like Star Wars, I thought he was going to somehow be related to Stu, right? I thought he was going to be...
Oh, they're going to bring Stu back or something, yeah.
I thought they were going to bring Stu back at first for a split second, but then that's too easy because everybody knows about that script that died where he was supposed to be in prison. But I thought
it's kind of ridiculous at this point to think Stu would still be alive and just hiding out.
And they never mentioned it. But I thought this kid was going to be Stu's son. And I'm like, okay, well, they're just going to go full blown Force Awakens, and everybody's going to be a child and offspring of somebody, and that would have given him good motive, right? I'm like, okay, I get it. And because even he's kind of tall and he kind of acts like Stu, and like I buy that. I thought they were going to go that route. I didn't know they were going to go the route of just kind of like another Scream movie where his motive is, we're the fans, you know, you guys shit on our fucking, you know, you shit on our franchise, you turn to shit. We're here to make it good again, which is kind of fun, but it's very Scream. Continue.
But yeah, basically fucking, they do it. They fucking, who's the second person? Oh yeah, the second person.
The best friend. The best friend in the beginning. The best friend in the beginning who she said, hey, if you don't play my game, I'm going to kill your friend. I can be in there in 15 seconds. And he had her on the FaceTime or whatever.
Okay. Well,
and which makes sense. Which makes sense why he was texting her from her phone, right? Continue.
Fucking I mentioned it while we were doing the commentary last time we did this. Fucking we watched Scream 4, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure this movie fucked up the tradition of having Red Right Hand in the song, the fucking soundtrack for the Nick Cave song, and this movie fucking it has it back. And it fucking, it's probably the best use of it. Fucking,
it's a clever way because it's great because it's playing on the radio, which lures the guy out there. Which, by the way, that whole stalker character, who's the kid from that Nightmare on Elm Street shitty remake, that fucking shit. He was in like.
I wondered where he went. I wonder where that kid went.
Haunting of Connecticut, and he was in a lot of movies for a couple of years, horror movies. Anyway,
I was starting to miss him. I'm glad to see him back. I didn't recognize him.
I feel like I'd say he was there as a red herring, but he didn't survive long enough to be a red herring.
Are you talking about the boyfriend?
I'm talking about the stalker character who got killed outside the bar. Like the first guy that got killed, right? And they were playing Red Right Hand. I would say he was being used as a scapegoat, as a distraction, but that can't be the case because he was killed in the first scene he showed up in. So I don't really know the point of his character, to be honest with you. But
to have a kill,
I guess.
Slasher.
But anyway,
ex-boyfriend, fucking, talking shit.
But they killed him too early for that to be effective. Anyway, but yeah, the Red Right Hand's playing on the stereo, which is funny, and makes him go to the car. And then when he gets killed, the music stops, and then it goes into the movie.
He's going to turn off the key, and as soon as he turns it off, fucking, it's right before the moment where it goes. And it's like fucking, but then he gets stabbed, and it just starts playing for the movie.
Yeah, then it continues. It was really cool. I liked it a lot.
How do you get out of the car that fast though? That's weird.
How does he do anything?
Honk, 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 stop, and instantly out.
Because he's Chad.
How did he know to have that Red Right Hand Nick Cave tape ready? Like, we got to make this extra self-aware.
You always keep an extra copy in your back pocket.
And I knew from the beginning too. Like, the fucking second person to kill.
You want to know a funny thing? I didn't guess who the killer was at all because I never fucking... this is the first time I probably ever walked into a Scream movie without any fucking, like, I'm going to try to guess the killer. Like, fucking, I was like, doesn't matter who the killer is.
I didn't try to. It just was there. It's not like, oh, just obvious.
I didn't think it probably entered my mind like, oh yeah, the boyfriend, he's got to be the killer because it's a fucking remake. It's like fucking like the original.
But that's also what's so fucking hilarious because Dewey, the first scene of Dewey when they which goes into that, like they track down Dewey and he's living in a trailer and we find out that he no longer works for the sheriff's department. He got fired or whatever. But you know, when he's a little bit more serious and
that scene
somber.
Between that scene after they leave and he calls Sidney. Like that when they're talking to each other, like fucking all like it's happening again, and like that was deep. That was a deep scene.
It was very deep. Fucking
like,
Marquette.
Pretty much like I got your back, and I know you got mine. We'll fucking let's do this.
The second they sit down with him in the trailer, he like almost cuts her off. Like, how well you know this fucker? How well you know this guy? And when she said we didn't know at the point. But when she tells him, that's the first word. No, when she said 6 months, I'm like, oh, he is a fucking killer. Like, why are you 6 months? Like, I don't. That's nothing, man. But
he's the kid from fucking that show.
Fucking The Boys.
The Boys.
Oh, that I was wondering where the fuck did I know him from? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right.
His girlfriend gets fucking ran over.
Ran over. Yeah, no, ran over by
hit at 100 miles per hour by a baby in a fucking slingshot.
A superhero.
Yeah,
baby on a slingshot.
Imagine this going at your temple at 100 miles per hour.
I can't wait for the boys to come back, but that's a derail. Anyway, yeah, so it's so funny that he just brought it up. Like, how well you know this guy. It's always the boyfriend. It's always whatever.
What'd you think of fucking Dewey? At first I was like, fucking, this does not seem like Dewey. Dewey is fun. This guy is like fucking drag.
Oh, dude, he's depressed, man. He lost his fucking girl. He lost his job.
Here's what happened. He was like, he was going through like the shit that's been gone down with him, and I was like, did they just fucking forget and just make him Randy because Randy's dead? They wanted to shoehorn Randy into the requel too. Like that. I thought that for a second. I don't know why.
Even Randy survived in this. The twins, nephews of Randy, both the niece and the nephew survived, you know, just like Randy.
I wonder if they fucking regret
how
killing
did he survive? He got slaughtered.
We didn't see him to the full extent, though. We didn't see what happened to him, really. Anyway.
Randy?
Well,
the nephew, the twin, the guy.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, like, it's funny, though, because his girlfriend runs out, finds him, and says, oh, yeah, I found him. Like, was he still fucking knocked out?
Yeah, did you not like call the police? Like, what?
Yeah, what the fuck? Why would you run back in? Oh, hey, I found him. Never mind.
Oh, by the way, so
I found him.
I didn't necessarily 100% guess it was the best friend yet, but I pegged the boyfriend. But let me tell you, had they made it clear that the house she lived in was Stu's old house,
right,
I would have pegged it immediately. But they didn't.
Well, also though, when they're all in the hospital, whenever the sister first arrives. She gives him that smirk, like, oh, she's here. Just after that hit, I was like, okay, she's the other one. And then they don't show her that much. They don't show her until the house party.
But also, too,
so it's like, obvious.
Maybe I missed it, but I don't think they really let it be known that she lived in Stu Block's old house until the house party. And so, and that makes me glad that I stayed away from all the promotional materials because literally it would have ruined it because there's literally a promo out there with like David Arquette in the promo, like, welcome back to the house from 96, you know, and he's like taking you through the house. I'm like, well, shit, if they were telling all this shit in commercials and shit, I don't know.
He was being a big shit. They were making a commercial like the Psycho fucking one where Alfred Hitchcock said, this is the room where he did it.
See, I like how they mentioned a lot of like horror movies too.
Well, they always do that in scary movies.
They
they always do that.
Well, I know, but like they brought back fucking, they did the Psycho.
Oh, my name is Sam Carpenter, right? Billy Loomis, Sam Carpenter. They did all that shit again.
There was a character named Wes.
Yeah, it was kind of on the nose of that stuff.
And fucking, where are we at now?
You know horror movie never got enough. He's high.
I said, where are we at now in the movie? I don't know.
Oh, so they meet. Okay, so this is a little bit of wrench in the works. So it's trying to copy the first movie, but the sister doesn't die. She actually gets hospitalized, which, I wasn't expecting. I'm like, okay, that's cool. She's not dead. And then they kill the kid in the bar. The girl who has been estranged from the family, right? She went off and got in trouble with the law, did drugs. She probably just came out of rehab. And I think they established that she's working in a bowling alley. And I think they established, was she in recovery with the fucking guy, that the Wes or the boyfriend?
I missed all of their backstory, really.
Yeah, kind of like.
Yeah, so.
But then you know that they all know each other from them babysitting.
Which, okay, that's fine. That's a
so
way to bring
that's how they all became friends.
But yeah, anyway, so yeah, they're all babysitting, and basically she confides with her sister at the hospital, like, hey, I'm Billy Loomis's fucking kid, blah, blah, and this is why I ran out. And then they go to Stu. Oh, sorry, not Stu. They go to Dewey. Like, what do we do? We're clearly in it. Everybody's self-aware.
You got 2 minutes, and then he's like, all right, here's what you need to know. By
the way, if Ghostface reappears every 10 years, like they literally make a point of saying that every 10 years, some asshole with a mask, leave that fucking town. For fuck's sake. Like, leave Woodsboro. Why would you stay there?
They can't, man. They got to protect it.
You gotta stay.
They know that it's been happening, so they stay there because they know they have to.
They do make that comment, though, like when they're ready to book, right before they get taken to the house, right? When the inhaler's missing and all that shit, they're gonna leave, and she's like, we're gonna do something no one ever does in these movies. We're gonna leave. And I'm like, yeah, that's funny. Nobody ever just fucking packs up and leaves.
And as soon as they were leaving, and the boyfriend's like, no, and like, no, with the inhaler,
he's really playing it. He's
just
like,
no,
because she forgot the
especially
inhaler.
when he looks back at the sister, like, I thought he was gonna try and kill him right then and there, not take him to the house.
Well, he was really like, what if because he said, like, well, can you wait till we get to whatever?
Right, he was
city?
playing it like he really wanted to take him to the house, but he was like, no, let's not go.
You guys are so fucking cringe. I watched this movie. I didn't think about like fucking who's the killer until it fucking happened.
But hold on, what would have happened?
It's obvious.
What would have happened if they said, yeah, we can wait? Oh, I wasn't expecting you to say that. Can we go by the party? I kind of want, it would have taken any, and even he said, I can't believe that fucking worked, but very convenient, Because, I don't think anybody would have stopped, by the way. I don't think anybody would have fucking stopped. You just would have kept going. Inhaler, whatever. get an inhaler somewhere else. It's prescription.
To me, this movie has definitely what everybody, like what casual people, when they watch slasher movies, when they call like fucking, the characters weren't memorable. Fucking people talk about like, oh yeah, Friday 13th Part 4, it's loved, but all the characters they're no more memorable than like fucking a movie like fucking Scream. But like fucking for some reason, like when I was a kid, I loved the fucking Dewey, and I love fucking Sid, and I love fucking all these characters.
They all had their own personality.
I'm sounding like the pussy in the movie.
Dude, it's hard. It's hard to really tell if characters are really that much more memorable or if it's just nostalgia.
Yeah.
They're the fucking kids from Maniac Mansion.
Because
people our age watching the original probably didn't fucking think Sid and
because to me, I look back on Scream, I'm like, yeah, Sidney, Billy Loomis, Stu Block, they're all very memorable, and the principal, even those side characters, they're all very memorable. But yeah, who knows? Maybe a kid seeing a Gen Zer seeing this one is like, oh god.
Yeah, that fucking kid from Goosebumps, fucking looking like fucking Milo Yiannopoulos. He's gonna fucking Minneapolis over.
He had that old style haircut too for the that bleach blonde hair.
The Milo, yeah.
Did you hear what he's doing now?
What, crack?
Milo? What's Milo doing?
He's doing the whole gay conversion therapy thing. He's he's trying to bring it back or something. That's so cringe. Fucking.
Anyway,
go ahead, back.
So, yeah, we're kind of getting all over the place, though, as far as the story. Let's just take it up from, Zach, take it from when they approach the trailer and they meet Dewey for the first time. Let's kind of get back on track with the story.
We meet our boy Dewey. He's sitting there he was figuring out like the Dewey Decimal System and all that shit that they based on him. He was getting all the residuals and shit, fucking living in his trailer. Fucking basically we find out he quit the force.
He didn't
Quit.
They pretty much told him he's done.
Fucking they had him step down, which is basically he was forced to quit, basically.
And he's obsessed. He's obsessed with Gail Weathers, who's his ex-wife now. He watches her show from New York City every day. She's like on the Today Show type of thing.
That was sad. It was like fucking
well, you wondered why he was different. That's why he's fucking hating life.
They didn't
lost his
together.
job. They didn't stay together. He's fucking miserable.
I'm okay with how he was in this movie and downtrodden and stuff, but I have to say, when you learn,
Dewey is kind of a fan favorite. He's always super like happy and shit. It's weird seeing him like this.
Right, it sucks.
When you, it happens to the happiest of people, though. People hit fucking pitfalls. But anyway, but also, I have to say, when they reveal what really happened in the marriage and that it was Dewey that left, I'm like, I thought the whole reasoning was whack. I didn't get it. Like, he couldn't cut it in New York City.
It was because she was too into the Scream stuff.
He couldn't cut it in New York City. He couldn't cut it in New York City. He had to come back to Woodsboro, and he left in the middle of the night. He couldn't and she said it was my turn. Like, they insinuated that they had an agreement where, hey, we'll live in Woodsboro, okay, the first couple of years, but after 2 years, we got to go to New York City, because she wasn't from Woodsboro. She never was, and so
he's born in a small town. He can't fucking leave it. Fucking it's too much for him. That's basically what it said. That's basically the reasoning.
And yeah, he's like he
let love get away because he couldn't handle the fucking the loud cars also.
And he just well, no, he that's what they just said. They basically said I couldn't cut it, and he left one night. He couldn't. I'm like, that's a pretty weak reason to blow a marriage. I think
if you love someone,
I get it. A city boy country, it's a different vibe, but like.
I mean, she was always busy too. I bet she was always out, since she was big shot now. So
it's probably a lot of shit.
He probably just didn't like being alone.
Their relationship's been on the rocks throughout the series, though. Fucking makes sense. They break up in one, they're back together.
But you think if you were if you think the way he was showing that he was depressed, like he was watching the news every day and shit like that, and he missed her so much. We're talking
about fucking Dewey like he's like
he's a real person.
This is some kind of soap opera shit. Like fucking that scene where Dewey. Oh god, Dewey.
The way they were playing it off is clearly like he got dumped, and that's the way somebody who got dumped acts. Right? Nobody acts like that if you do the dumping. You just think someone like that at some point would have cut the cord and been like, "Fuck it, okay, I'm going back to New York. I'm gonna try and get her back. I fucked up," because he looks like he was drunk all the time, living in a fucking. By the way, did she take all the fucking money? Maybe she had all the money, I guess, because he's living in a trailer now.
He's living like fucking.
He was retired,
detective.
so he's living off his whatever. Probably something they gave
pension. And yeah, if they're not married, it was all her money, and she was the rich one.
I got a great fucking Critters reference, and you keep fucking.
Sorry, go ahead.
He's living like Detective fucking the Marv fucking from Critters fucking part 2. He's just hanging out in that trailer, and he's a different actor all of a sudden. So weird.
Anyway, so that's pick it up from that. Let's get the story out of the way. So they talk to Dewey. Dewey tells him, "Hey, I'm not gonna fucking help you." And he's like, "Hey, how well? My only advice is basically how well do you know this guy? It's always the fucking boyfriend." And he tells him he's not gonna help him at first. He kicks him away, right?
But then Dewey sees on the news that like there's another killing, so now he's got to let Gail and everybody know Sidney.
He's coming back.
Everybody.
Yeah, he calls Sidney. Don't come to Woodsboro, and she's like, "Yeah, you don't have to fucking tell me twice. I'm, whatever." And there's
Nev
Campbell
still got it.
She's got that fun little quote, that fun little line of, "I'm Sidney fucking Prescott. Of course I've got a gun," which is kind of funny.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, and he doesn't want to call Gail.
She's super hot in this one. I don't know if it's because she's a mom now.
I think she looks. I think the older
she looks
she gets,
a lot better.
No,
she looks
the
a
older
lot. She's fine. She's aging fine.
No,
baby.
no. The older she gets, the more and more she looks like Cro-Magnon Man to me.
Nah,
I don't think she looks attractive. Oh, Courtney Cox looks like shit. By the way.
Oh,
she looks.
That's so mean. She's so
fucking.
Anyway,
fucking, you guys are so cringe.
Why are you telling me I'm cringe? I didn't. I'm sitting here telling him he's mean, and I'm the cringe one. What the fuck? What the fuck? Are you deaf?
Fucking both you shitheads.
I'm sitting here telling him that she's aging with the fine wine.
He calls Sidney, tells her not to come. Great, and
I would love to see that.
Yeah,
I was gonna mention I want to see Nev Campbell and Neve from fucking Catfish. I want to see them fucking each other because they have the same name. I want to see they have the same name.
Anyway. At this point in the conversation, she's on board. Like, yeah, you don't have to tell me twice. I'm not fucking coming out there. Great. And he doesn't call Gail Weathers because...
Then it cuts to her getting her suitcase ready to leave.
Then he calls. He can't call Gail Weathers because she's on the air, and he probably doesn't want to call her either. So he sends her a text, and it's kind of a funny Dewey moment where he's like, "Hey, I like how they all call him Ghostface, self-aware, because I thought this is something that we called him as the fans. Ghostface is back. Do not come to Woodsboro." And then what does he say after that? He sends another text message, something winky face. Something fucking stupid. It was pretty funny. It's like I probably shouldn't have sent that, but and that's the last we hear. And I don't remember the sequence events. Maybe the fucking Milo kid got killed in between that scene and when Gail Weathers and all the news starts coming to town. I can't remember. Yeah, because the Milo kid gets killed because we're introduced to the deputy from 4, and then that's when the news is congregating around the scene of that crime. Which his kill was pretty cool, right? They're actually like a good struggle, and he gets that knife through the neck.
I still think the random dude at the bar is the best kill.
It's Milo and his mom that get killed. The nurse from part 4. That's
not the nurse. She's a deputy.
I thought he was gonna open the door. I thought he was gonna open the door, find his mom, call the cops, and then he was gonna survive. I thought he'd be like one of the survivors.
I kind of like how he just popped up behind the bush and fucking stabbed her right in the stomach. Right. Kind of. It
was a very slasher movie. Fucking it is they're all slasher movies, but it seems like this one's more because Scream was one of those that was a big thing. It was the main.
You didn't see any knives go through a door.
It was the main.
Nice. They were nice.
It was the main perpetrator of the it's scarier what you don't see. Because we already know what a guy with a knife's gonna do, and Halloween was really big into that but Scream did it too. But this one, it seemed like they rode the line as the series went on. Like there was it got more and more gory because they pointed out that's part of the thing. Like you got to get gore and gore, more carnage. All the fucking Randy quotes.
Even though there's nothing as violent as when Steve got gutted in the first opening of the original Scream. Nothing's ever been that violent in the Scream movie, right? Where his insides were coming out.
Oh yeah, that was that got cut out of the R-rated version. It was only on the VHS. But
that's the one that's the only version I've ever seen though. I've never seen it where his guts weren't spilling out.
Hell yeah.
I mean, so that to me, that till this day, that's a pretty violent sequence, But anyway, so yeah, it's the killing of the Milo kid and the deputy that brings Gail and Nev Campbell and everybody to town, right? So Gail's there, she sees Dewey there, and they have their little moment, and that's where we learn that Dewey fucking left. It was on him. And gosh, where does it come from there?
Well, then that's when we see the sister drive by there. They have the scene, they have that little closed off area, and then that's when they all meet.
Like, that's my friend,
Yeah, that's when they all meet. And fucking Nev Campbell comes in like fucking all hot and shit. Fucking titties are shaking, ass and popping.
Looking like a big Stace.
I left my kids at home. I'm coming to take care of it. Fucking coming in here and taking care of business. Fuck, you take care of these 2 little new fucking twins, and I'm gonna go take care of business.
Oh yeah.
And then what's the okay, and then that
Dewey meets up with him.
That leads us to the sister. They're at the scene of the crime, the Milo killing, and the sister sees, I guess, the only other fucking deputies in town for some reason, the Asian guy and the black guy. They're like, if you're here,
supposed to be there with
why
her.
aren't you watching my sister? Like, is there really no other cops or guards in this town, in the hospital? And they're like, well, the deputy
you think
died.
With all the slashing, they'd have a bigger police station too.
That made no fucking sense. And they're like, well, the deputy was dead, so we just came running, and they went running to the hospital, and then Dewey jumped.
Thinking about this way too
I know.
much.
No. And then Dewey jumps in the car.
Slasher movie.
Dewey jumps in the car too. Like, what are you waiting for? Let's go. And they go to the hospital, and yes, Ghostface is there. And then the fucking boyfriend shows up. Right? He's the first fake out where she's in there,
she
like
fucking hits him.
Exactly. Like, ow! But then Ghostface is there too. Obviously, it's the friend. And this is the whole scene where Dewey gets killed. Spoiler.
It's so funny how he keeps getting. They both are like the same height. Isn't that weird?
Yeah. It makes you want to watch it. There's no way
that girl is not even bigger than Nev. Like, I don't get it.
There's no way they really made her they didn't film her in the costume. She probably didn't know she was a killer.
And getting shot, she would have got shot in the face on the Dewey scene.
Dude. Yeah, that's the one thing people were saying is like, how is this fucking 16-year-old fucking 100-pound girl struggling with Dewey. Like Dewey struggling
fucking
with her.
bulletproof vest on under that shit. She'd all be like beefcake.
They're all like this. They're all supposed to be 16-year-olds.
But like this little girl though, like Dewey, when Dewey gets killed, man, you know, he roughs her up a little bit, obviously. But why is there any struggle? And why was Dewey so careless when he goes back? Wait, I got to go back. You know, they have to be shot in the head. And then, okay, I get it. He goes back.
Yeah, I was like, he's getting killed.
Yeah, he was right there.
They could have at least made it a little bit better than that.
But why would you get right up to him in the head? Like, dude, stand 6 feet away and shoot that blaster in the fucking head.
It makes no sense that they would even let him go do it by himself.
Right.
Because they were all together before. He's just like, oh, yeah, I got to shoot him in the head. And it's like, okay.
Why did they even run away to begin with? He had her on the ground. He shot her like a few times.
Yeah,
why did he just shoot him in the head? Right then. Shoot in the head. And you know what? Even then, why are they running away? They just fucking shot the killer, supposedly, and they're laying down, broken glass in that fucking trophy case, or whatever the fuck that was. I don't know what it was. But anyway,
I don't care who you are.
Go with Dewey. There's like 3 of you. There's 4 of you, including the boyfriend, which we didn't think about that. The boyfriend was a killer. What would they have done? Because the boyfriend was there. Who was the second killer? That's interesting because Dewey went over there to go shoot her in the head. The boyfriend was hanging back and just like, okay, yeah, that's interesting. I didn't really think about that. He was probably sweating bullets.
Well, because he probably knew that they had a bulletproof vest on.
Yeah, but he even said, I'm going to go over there and shoot her in the head, and they just left. Like, okay, what is he thinking? Like, oh, fuck, she's fucked. Or like, hey, let's hope the 6-year-old... Yeah,
You guys are thinking about this way more than I ever did.
Just chill out, man.
It's fun. No, I get it. I don't give a shit. It doesn't hurt my score in the movie about this shit. It's suspend your disbelief. It's a stupid horror movie. I get it, but it's fun to unpack it. But yeah, anyway, he gets really close to her, and she fucking like kicks him and stabs him.
What she says to him though is pretty funny.
Yeah, it's an honor.
It was an honor.
She stabs him in the stomach and then stabs him again, like in the back and the kidney. And I'm assuming she did one of these numbers where she spliced
twists.
him.
Or no, she pulled up on his back.
She was carving him.
Up. Yeah.
She had a knife in the stomach and a knife in the back, and I'm assuming she like totally just cut him open like from left to right. Anyway, and he's like, yeah, it's an honor, like to be the one to kill him, which is kind of cool because it makes sense when you find out they're like an uber fan of the series, and that's what it is.
We just glossed over the fucking.
It was an honor.
The Chad Dewey dies in the movie. Fucking for anybody that didn't know that.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised more people didn't die, but I knew somebody. You know, that's the way all these legacy requels have to go.
I didn't mean to do that.
But I'm saying that they always have to die. That somebody has to die. It's like in Star Wars: A New Hope. Han Solo dies. They always have to kill a legacy character. Ghostbusters, Egon's
I just think
dead,
it'd be
obviously.
funny if they made a new one. He came back like he didn't die. Like at the end of the movie, it would have been funny if you saw him with a thumbs up too.
Yeah. Well, the next one they'll be making fun of is split timeline movies because that's like
no. The new thing, the Omega thing to do would start making stab movies. Just like actually make a stab movie. That would be fucking beta. No.
Anyway,
Omega.
So Zach, since we're glossing over stuff, go ahead and you continue the story from here.
I was gonna say fucking something funny, and I forgot what it was.
Because you're high.
That sucks.
So they're leaving the hospital, and they're like, this is when Gail Weathers and Sidney and everybody shows up, and they decide, hey, let's just get the fuck out of here. Like, I'm done with this. Like, let's do it. Nobody, she does. The sister says, let's do what nobody ever does in these fucking movies and leave the fucking town. And so they're packing up with the boyfriend. And the boyfriend's really playing it up, like, "Hey, yeah, I don't want to stay here." Like, but Sidney wants to convince her, like, "Look, take it from someone who knows you can't run away from your problems. It's gonna keep coming back. It's gonna haunt you. We need to end this." And she's like, "No, I'm fucking leaving." And she's like, And then Gail's like, "You're really just gonna take that? I put a tracker on our car." "Oh, that was very Gail Weathers things to do. I'll take that as a compliment." Blah 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 blah. Great. And so that's where we're at. And they're driving away. They're driving home. And that's when the whole fucking, oh, my inhaler's gone. Because we find out the boyfriend at some point took her inhaler to cause this detractment and all that stuff. And then she's like, well, I got an extra one at my best friend's house. And they're having a party for some reason, which they are self-aware. And they say, like, who has a fucking party when there's a serial killer on the loose? It makes no fucking sense. And this is basically a remake of the first Scream movie. You even have like the Randy, the girl, even though there's twins, The girl's a little bit more the Randy. She's watching the couch. She's a little bit dozed out of it, just like behind you. And it is fucked up. Remember, they're watching, like, it's weird. Why the brother's like, why are you watching? You're watching a fucking movie of our uncle getting fucking killed. Like,
we saw new scenes from Stab too, like more new recreations of the scenes from the first movie. And did they de-age to make fucking Owen Wilson? Was that what I saw in one of those?
I don't know. No, because that was the party scene. Billy Loomis was not in the party scene. Behind, he was never. Yeah,
maybe.
That was a bunch of people we've never seen. We never saw who played Randy in the Stab movies. Which, yeah.
Clever.
Oh,
Yeah.
Also, like when they go downstairs to get more beer.
I enjoyed that whole thing, like the whole back and forth with going downstairs alone.
No, before that, the two girls, and they're like, no, after you. No, after you.
Oh, you're learning, that, yeah, exactly. Stuff like that. And the whole thing, it was stupid, like the boyfriend going down there. Like, why is this really the time?
He took a really long ass time to get beer.
He took a really long time. And also, this guy was so gung-ho on getting the fuck out of Dodge. He didn't want to come there. He wants a beer.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like, can I crack a beer? And also, it's funny, he's a killer and all this shit, but he was the guy, Mr. Moral Compass, getting all the kids out of there. All right, everybody leave, get out of here. I don't know. But anyway, the movie comes to a head here. The girl reveals she's one of the killers. She just starts lighting them up with a gun, starts shooting people.
I thought at the end when she was sitting there like, oh yeah, how like when they're talking about everything, I thought they're gonna go, oh yeah, and how like they always explain stuff to the actual like survivors. We're just gonna fucking end your life right here. And I thought they were gonna pull the trigger on Neve Campbell. I thought they were gonna fucking dome her right in the head. I thought they were gonna just kill her, get it over with.
No,
you think that they would learn from that too?
What did you
like? We shouldn't have to explain ourselves. We should just kill them right then and there.
What did you think of the whole thing in that last act where Gail and Neve Campbell, they all show up and they're very self-aware of what's going on here, this weird reenactment, and even to the point where she comes out, oh, he stabbed me. It's very much like, Billy Loomis pretending to get killed. Like, you buy this? And then she's like, oh, fuck it, and just starts shooting him. All that shit was really funny to me, but they were very like, we're the old guard. Like, we've been through this a lot. Like, nice try.
Yeah.
But I liked how the killers in this struggled a lot more than any other killers. Like when the jig was up.
I thought the killers was. I just thought that they showed themselves too early. Like, I think it was just a little bit still too early.
It was fine for me. But like
weird
when the jig was up, like they really struggled. Like I feel like they got their asses handed to them. Like I don't get it. What makes you so weak and not tough now that you don't wear the Ghostface mask? Why is it when you're wearing a Ghostface mask, everybody's running away? Like sometimes in a group. Yeah, I'm saying, I mean, like literally these people will be in a group and they'll still be going to an elevator running away from Ghostface who's knocked out because they're wearing a mask. But now that you've revealed who they are, they're suddenly weak. Like, oh, I'm sorry.
And then they talk too fucking much. They should just fucking end their lives. Fucking kill them, get it over with.
No, it's fun.
It wouldn't be fucking memorable if they just did that. We need the big speech at the end.
Kill Neve Campbell. Fucking kill Laurie Strode. Fucking kill them all.
No, but anyway, I think it's funny though. As soon as they take off the fucking rubber mask from Walmart, they're powerless. They get their ass handed to them. It's like, oh, now that we know who you are, we're willing to kick your ass. I'm not scared of you anymore. I mean, maybe to a degree that kind of helps if you find out it's a 16-year-old girl.
Oh yeah, it's this pussy guy. All right, fuck you.
Like, yeah, what the fuck, man?
I thought Neve Campbell would fucking suplex that girl, but no, instead she gets bashed into the back of a fucking cabinet and then the fucking side. I was like, dude, come on, Neve. Fucking, she's like a fucking kid. Fucking beat her ass. Pull your titties out. Fucking slap her with your titties. I thought she was going to whoop her ass. I'm like, what is this?
I did love the whole tag team of her lighting the gas and Gail Weathers shooting it and setting her on fire. I thought that was fucking cool.
That was probably the best.
Yeah. That's probably her fucking shitty ass. Hold on, Zach. Your fucking shitty ass sweater. Her shitty ass sweater. Shut the fuck up! Her shitty ass sweater just fucking goes up in flames instantly. Like she already had gas on her or something.
No, they turned the gas on. As if she had gas on.
No, but when she fell into it, her fucking her shirt went fucking set ablaze.
I love it.
I think this is one of the better fucking final kills for a killer.
And then when she comes back and she's like melted away like that fucker on Land of the Dead.
Just think of it this way though. You think when she got the upper hand, fucking she starts stabbing him. You know, it's murder after you fucking do it so many times. You know, so she's going to prison. She wouldn't have made it out of there fucking in the fucking ambulance with her sister. She would have went straight to fucking prison.
The way they ended it, it seems just like fucking. I brought it up earlier. Friday 13th Part 4. Like fucking, it's basically Tommy die, and then they end it where it's just like fucking. Could Tommy like fucking lose it and become the killer next time?
It was gratifying to watch her just fucking stab him a million times. Like it was like she really went at it. But also,
that's what I'm saying. But after so many, if their back's turned and you shoot them, then it's your fault.
But like, hold on.
Shit is not.
I totally.
Like,
I know.
She would have went to prison.
I totally understand. I totally believe too and understand that the Billy Loomis thing was just like her conscience, and she was just. It wasn't a ghost, but it is just fan service. I get it. So it's not supposed to make sense when she accepted when Billy Loomis like looked at the knife that was Chameleon laying right there. Go get it. It basically accept who you are. You're the son of a serial killer or daughter of a serial killer. Okay, she stabbed him a million fucking times, and then she does the.
And then she does the daddy thing where she sees her daddy and she's like, "Oh, daddy."
She does.
Stab me, daddy. Hurt me more.
She does the cool knife thing where you wipe the blood off of it.
But how does she know that was a thing? That's almost like
because it's in her blood.
It's in her blood. That makes no sense. Like, and she didn't have a glove.
She didn't even cut her hand or anything. Fucking Chad.
You don't have to cut your hand.
She didn't. You don't fucking put your hand that way.
She could have. She wasn't paying attention. She could have sliced her fucking fingers off.
Anyway, it was very gratifying, and but
what would have been? You would have made that better with Billy Loomis. What if they did it like fucking American Werewolf in London, where he is like fucking rotting throughout the movie every time you see him?
He just ends up being fucking a zombie at the end. Like,
just like American Werewolf in London.
Yeah.
No, like American Werewolf.
Is that what I said?
Oh, you said American.
What did I say?
Oh, did you say American Werewolf?
I thought I did.
I didn't hear you say it.
Spoke.
But anyway, but yeah, it was kind of that vibe, right? Where we had this person. But anyway, it was so clearly just a figment of her imagination because the stuff he was saying isn't something you think Billy Loomis would say. Like, you're this daughter of a serial killer. Like, find out who's fucking doing this and slit some fucking throats. Like, shouldn't you be like, wouldn't real Billy Loomis be all about this? Because this is like what he tried to do. Like, why would he want to stop the bad guy?
Fucking,
I don't know.
They should have done. They should have had Luke Wilson playing him to make it like fucking she knows Billy Loomis from the movies.
Anyway, the movie ends. They die. You get the one last kill. Is it? I don't know if they do it to. I don't know if they light up the burnt girl or if it's the guy she stabbed.
It's the burnt girl.
Whatever. She's like,
because they shoot him straight in the fucking neck. Like he gets shot through the chin into the fucking back of the head, and you just see it just pour out. Like you just
to the left.
She lights him up.
Fucking, and then she comes running through the kitchen, all burnt, fucking Child's Play 1 style, fucking.
Yeah. And how does she get it?
Burnt.
And they shoot her. Don't they light her up a million times? Like boom, 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 boom. I don't know.
Well, they start shooting her and run out of bullets, and then the sister shoots her before she gets to the fucking them. So somehow her sister can fucking, as soon as she turns the corner, she fucking gets her right in the head, instant headshot, fucking biggity bam.
You know what?
She's fucking
The only
Top
thing
Gun.
that doesn't make sense is what at the end of this
Top Gun.
She fucking just bricks that motherfucker instantly. There's no
bricks
way.
in his mouth.
Pretty much through her fucking dome.
Anyway, so
she's not a good shot like that. She's a fucking kid. She doesn't know. She would have missed the first shot. She wouldn't have hit her in the fucking head.
Yeah, though that's always like
this
that.
This movie's a fucking 2 out of 10.
It's always like that. It's always like that in movies. Oh, we glossed over the fact that the little sister was in the closet just like the fucking dad, and
I'm in the closet.
They found her in the closet and they didn't show us what happened, but clearly she let her go. They just made it seem like, oh, I don't trust you. I'm not letting you go.
Right.
But yeah, she came out. Oh, you're talking about her shot? The way she shot her? Yeah, that's right. You're right. Because the girl who was on fire, she was on the side.
Runs through and they run out of bullets, and she instantly shoots her in the head.
Boom!
As soon as she hits that corner. Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah, dude, that was some Call of Duty shit. I know, but it is what it is. But I noticed that too. Like shit. Dude, she weighed like 40 pounds. She would have had some kickback. Like fuck, first time.
I liked how fucking
See, now that it's my turn to say it, you guys are shut the fuck up. I don't remember what it was. No, I liked
I liked how fucking Ghostface struggled because I noticed this is like fucking, somebody watched fucking Blue Ruin and was like, let's do Scream but make Ghostface like the guy in Blue Ruin trying to get revenge. Fucking he keeps fucking up.
Yeah, he's kind of dorky. He fucking slips and falls, cracks his head, and makes. You hear him too. He's like, oh.
All right, Chad. Was that the same guy doing the voice?
Oh, that sounded like the same guy.
Oh yeah, from the first one.
Yeah, same guy.
Chad.
Which it was weird in the opening scene to see him just act like a normal guy. Like, yeah, I'm from a group, like he wasn't putting on quite the sinister voice. And then he kind of
I really liked the opening. Yeah, the opening call and shit. I thought it worked good. And like they did it different than usual. Fucking usually it's just, yeah.
The way with requels,
I liked how he pulled out the fucking voice changer too, and it didn't even sound like it.
It was like a deet. Yeah. Well, the requel, the concept of it is, hey, we kind of want to like keep going with the franchise, but we need to give the original cast and original series a send off. So I think the only thing that presented a finality with this one with the legacy cast is Dewey's dead, but also the fact that Gail Weather decided I'm not going to write a book about this, which that doesn't mean somebody else won't. By the way, I mean the murders are still going to be on the news. I don't think that really, I'm not going to write. But before Gail makes an announcement, like, I'm not going to write a book, let's end it, I've never come back to this town. Before that, Neve Campbell was like, when she's trying to convince her not to leave town, the sisters, like, no, you have to end this. Like, what makes you think this is going to end it? Because clearly another Ghostface will come back in 10 years that you have no relation to. Like, why is it going to end anything?
They implied that the reason it kept happening is because she kept writing a book.
I know.
Last time, and then they make a movie about
it. But I think that's loose because
she's still going to write a book about Dewey. But then you know what's going to be funny is at the end of the book it's going to be like, but
like, how'd she die?
Happened. All this happened.
Yeah, how did Dewey die? Exactly.
So they'll just copy that.
But Gail Weathers doesn't need to write a book. She's not the only one that can write a book about some real true crime shit because that's. Yeah, that's kind of Swiss cheese to me, but it is what it is.
Cotton Weary is back from the dead. He shows back up in the next movie, and he's like, fucking Gail.
Yeah, fucking her.
You promised me an interview. What was it? You promised me an interview, Gail. What was it you so mad about?
Diane Sawyer.
You want to do an interview with me?
Anyway, so that's in a nutshell, that's the movie. I mean, I guess they could continue and have more. I mean, that's obviously...
Make stabs. They should just start making stabs.
Why would they not want to have more sequels? I would be content if it just ended here, but I want to start with saying what I thought about the movie.
I like this one better than 4. And
okay,
3.
so I guess Mac's going to start. But anyway, yeah, I'm the same way. I think it's easily much better than 4 and 3.
I like the gore.
I might even like it better than 2. I don't know yet, but I mean, I would have to watch 2 again and really side by side them. But it's at least the third best. It's at least behind 1 and 2. 1's always going to be number 1. I thought this was good. I thought it was a 7 out of 10.
I'm going to say I actually like this a little bit better than Halloween Kills. Like I like the way they did that. I think they did it better with.
It's a more coherent movie,
right.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I like the actors. I like how, like, even if it was shitty, they were just trying to copy the first movie.
Here's the thing.
And they just pretty much talked about the movie.
But they did it in a very clever way. They did it. It's almost like, hey, part 4 didn't happen because part 4 kind of tried to do this shit, I think, to a degree. But like, and I don't let the idea of like Wes Craven being dead or Kevin Williamson not writing it bother me at all, because if you think about it, half of the movies they did do sucked, right? It doesn't. 3 and 4 are terrible. It's like Wes Craven and the original writer do not guarantee a good movie. So I
don't think 3 or 4 are terrible. I think they're bad movies.
I think 3 is okay, but I think 4 is a piece of shit. It's not good.
I'm gonna go like there's a couple things I want to say throughout the episode, but like fucking
go ahead.
I remember noticing fucking this feels very much like I was saying, like fucking a slasher movie doesn't feel like a Scream movie. When it does feel like a Scream movie, it feels like it's like a checklist thing, and they're fucking like, we need that scene where they're being meta. They're talking about the requel shit. Like up until that happened, it was like I started to forget it was a Scream movie, and then it was like, oh yeah, and then fucking, and then it happened again later.
Are you sure you just weren't really high?
No, it feels like I'm just trying to say it feels very different. And like fucking, I didn't realize till the end of it, but like fucking, I was like, this feels so different. But like, did Kevin Williamson write this? I don't even know. I didn't look anything, and then I saw the end credits. Like, okay, he didn't. So like, yeah, it does. It feels very different. But at the same time, I was like, this might be Kevin Williamson because that fucking the dead Billy Loomis shit. That kind of seemed like Dawson's Creek shit. Or something. I was just joking, but like, yeah, fucking, I don't know. It sounds like I might have liked it a little less than you guys did.
A little less.
A little less, like, because I didn't hate it. Fucking.
Well, where do you rank it and what do you score it? Like, rank it in the series.
Fucking, I would say it's a solid 6, maybe a light 7 with another watch.
Well,
fucking,
so that's better than 3 and 4 then for you, right?
3 and 4, fucking. I think 4 is like a 4 out of 10, and fucking 3 is like a 3 out of 10.
Okay, so yeah, you're in the same place as us. It's at least in the middle. It's the best since the first two, and I give it a solid 7, not even a light 7. If it was any better, I'd have to rewatch it. I like it enough to where I'm probably gonna buy it when it comes out.
I think if I watch it again, I'll probably give it like an 8 out of 10.
It just depends. Yeah, I got to see how it holds up the second watching because yeah, I mean, I don't.
It's just I liked the slashing parts. They were good. I liked the Ghostface.
The pacing was cool. I didn't think the pacing was bad. Everything about it seemed to kind of go by fast enough. It was fun. The kills were really violent. They were really cool. I don't know. I dug it. It's at least a 7. I was pleasantly surprised because I went into it.
If I was on Rotten Tomatoes, I'd fucking say it was fresh.
I'm not even. Look, I'm not even like a Scream hardcore diehard or anything like that. I loved the first one when it came out. I watched it when it came out. I rented it. I didn't go to theaters, but I rented it when it came out in 96 or 7 when it hit VHS. And I loved it. And I was obsessed with it. And I couldn't wait for the second one to come out. And I watched it, and I loved the second one. I never liked the third one.
I feel like this one did such a good job, they'll probably fucking put out another one.
I never watched. Yeah, this one did gangbusters because Scream.
Oh yeah, this one's
Scream 4
did like 3 million the first night or something.
No, well, Scream 4 did like 30 million domestically its entire run. This one did like 35 million the opening weekend. So it's been a huge hit for him. So I dig it. I don't know if they can keep it up. I mean, once you get, if they were to make sequels off this new cast and you don't have any more of that,
just make a stab.
Yeah,
they can start it all over with the stab. It'd be genius.
I don't know. I don't even necessarily know why they have to keep it in Woodsboro. They might have her move. Maybe they left like they wanted to, and it's following them. I don't see what they can do from here, but I'm sure they'll figure out something.
One thing I can say, this movie ends just like the first one. It has that pull out where it's coming out as the new news reporter goes, and she starts saying, "Oh, crazy murders happen." And it's pulling out, and then it fades to black.
It's a new Gale Weathers.
It fades to black. Yeah. And they recreate the fucking famous like scary thing that you guys remember how it fucking that shit like it's basically so that whenever you're watching it at home and you get up to go turn the fucking VHS off, it fucking scares the shit out of you. But like fucking also it just flashes and shows the Ghostface where like and they did it in this one, and this one was kind of goofy. Like it didn't work. Fucking you gotta zoom into the face.
I was expecting it.
You gotta zoom into the face.
Yeah, it was just like him slashing or whatever. Like, I don't know. I liked it. I enjoyed it. And you know what though? It's just like all the other movies where there's 2 killers. 3 was the only one where there's 1 killer, but 2 killers.
They fucked up. They mentioned in the movie there's always 2 killers. And it's like, well, technically there isn't.
Yeah.
Part 3 didn't have 2 killers.
I kind of for a split second during the big third act, I thought they were going to reveal a third killer. Like, oh my god, is there like a third one?
For a second, I kind of did think the little sister was going to be in on it. She got the worst of it.
Like, where else do you go from there? But yeah, I know they did the second killer thing again, which, by the way, I couldn't figure out where I knew the girl from, the killer. And I realized, wait a second, she played one of the fucking Manson family in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where she was also a serial killer.
I thought she looked familiar, and like that reminded me of that scene from that movie, like that whole thing where she's running around and shit.
Yeah,
like,
well, she's the girl that gets eaten apart by Brad Pitt's dog. Yeah, she's that. Yeah. And you know, and had I put that together, like when I first saw her and Scream, like that's that bitch. That probably would have made it click even more. Like, God, she was a killer in that one. Like, fuck, she'll be a killer. But yeah. Anyway, the 2 killer thing, it always seems like, especially with like the last one too, there's always somebody with like a real motive, and there's always someone that's just a little bit crazy. Like the girl really didn't have a good motive. She's just like, ever since my parents bought Stu's old house, I've been obsessed. You know, the other guy seemed to be like driving the car. The other one was like Stu.
I didn't like the motives in this movie. I remember like fucking being a little let down with the reveal too. Fucking I guess I was just kind of like fucking.
I feel like something.
Yeah.
I was waiting for something a little bit bigger. I'll admit. Like as far as the reveal, like I was saying, I was expecting like there to be like a third killer, like something that's like a little different. But no, I
remember when I realized it was the boyfriend, I was like, oh, I was kind of let down.
Yeah,
like, fucking again.
Don't let me down.
But like, yeah, it was a fun movie. It works as a slasher movie. That's all they ever really were. With fucking my nostalgia probably makes me like the characters from the old ones more than I would have if I watched it now. And people watching it back then probably just feel the same way as all these new kids.
I feel like it was a good balance between new and old characters.
Yeah, I liked it, and I didn't think we got gypped at all with the legacy characters. I thought they were in it enough. You know, I thought it was
fine too. Yeah,
it didn't feel cheap like Ghostbusters felt cheap. To be honest with you, it felt shoehorned in, whereas this one did not. Like, it felt more organic, but. Yeah, I mean, the first Scream movie, the motives and everything was a lot fresher, and it seemed a little bit more pure. Just, you know, a couple of crazy teenagers and the whole don't blame the movies, fucking going after that whole social commentary. But it was really about also him being the fucking abandoned child and all that shit. It worked for me more. It's like, oh, I could honestly see this happening in real life, like some fucking whack nut doing this shit. But when every couple of years someone else has a new motive for trying to like copy the second one, even makes sense because you're gonna have a copycat killer. Okay, that's fair enough. But then after that, it's like it gets a little silly. But anyway, we dig it. It's a Revival House certified fresh. That's what we've deemed it.
It's true Kino. It's true Kino. I guess
it's true Kino. We will do it when it comes out. Sure enough, it'll be out readily available in just a couple of months. It won't take any fucking time. But we can do a commentary for it. It'll be kind of fun to see how it plays a second time around. You know. And it's always fun to watch those movies a second time now that you know who the killers are and you know how it ends, you know, so you can find little shit. But anyway, all right, that's all we got, guys. Thank you so much. It was a fun one. I'm glad it was fun going to the movies too, because I don't go to the movies that much anymore, to be honest. Yeah, bye puppets, all the good stuff. Make sure you guys are liking the channel, liking the video, leaving comments, t-shirt. Helping us out in the algorithms. If you want to support us, buy a t-shirt. We got links to Teesprings. We got links to the Patreon if you want to support us over there and get early content and bonus content, and watch the Cinema Enema shit. We got Mac and Zach Save the World up next for them. We're going to be doing...
We got Retro Rampage on Fridays.
We got the streaming shit, Retro Rampage. We're going to be doing...
this Friday.
Yeah. We're going to be doing Stealing Harvard. Stealing Harvard tomorrow for Mac and Zach. And yeah, the BTM commentary. So it's a good time. But that's all we got. You
fucking
guys
Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. That's another movie I watched. Fucking funny. No. Fucking there was a part where he's like, "That's a real rocket." I didn't know he said that. And I had the subtitles on when he's throwing shit at him and he's big. He says that was a real rocket.
Who said that? The kid?
The baby.
The baby says that?
Funny, yeah.
I don't remember
that. And he's like, he has serious face. That was a real rocket. Dude, I was high as fuck.
Is that streaming anywhere?
I think it is. It's on fucking Disney Plus.
Oh, okay. I should watch that.
I think Zach needs to watch it high because it's a great movie. Fucking, I love that movie.
All right, guys. Well, we'll leave you guys at that. Make sure you guys tune in next week.
That's a real rocket.
Yep. All right. Bye, puppets. Later.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Scream. Chad. That big Chad shit.
Scram blanked. Scram blanked. Oh, fuck. Take another hit.
I just looked at your face. You were so serious. You were so serious.
I heard you stop and everything. Oh, shit. He's serious.
Sorry. My pee turned to a poo.
Bible House. East Mountain, y'all. That sounds like fire. Like this country used to.